So I know a lot of people cannot stand California, many hate LA, and a lot of people want to burn Hollywood to the ground, but I don't think people meant this. And influencers are out here posing with products. Be for real. The city's choking on smoke, people are losing everything, and these are like, use my code for 10% off this lip gloss. It's bad, like really bad. You'd think influencers with millions of followers would step up and share something, right? But no, of course no way. Instead, they're hyping cheap and acting like the fires don't even exist. It's like stepping over someone drowning to snap a selfie. And sure, not every influencer's pulling this crap, some are actually helping. But the ones we're gonna mention are the poster children for fame over flame. Let's get into it, starting with Drea Michelle. So LA is literally burning, people are losing their homes and choking on air, and guess what? Dre's last 2 brain cells thought it's the perfect time to sell an overpriced air purifier. She shared a post like, use my code for a discount. What the actual The internet dragged her. People started calling her tone-deaf and selfish. It's like being on a sinking ship and selling life jackets instead of helping people. Using a crisis to push overpriced products is truly up that I don't even have any words. If you've got a platform during a disaster, maybe post donation links or share useful info. But no, Drea went with, buy this and good luck. The backlash was brutal and deserved. Now comes the Kimberly Noel Kardashian.
Is the packaging that my skin products come in. This is the 9-piece set, and I just love this like molded packaging.
She hasn't posted about the fires, and people are demanding that she does post about it, but instead of doing that, she's just asking people to buy Skims to make her more rich. Because obviously, what everyone needs in a wildfire is a snatched waist, right? She on Instagram posted her new collection, and people were like, Kim, there are people that are dying. Fans dragged her, commenting tone-deaf and out of touch. Sure, Kim's a business owner with contracts and schedules, but that doesn't excuse ignoring a disaster. But the thing is, Kim knows how to use her platform for good. She has done so many great things. So why not pause the promos to, at the very least, show some empathy? Instead, she came off as someone who cares more about money than people. Kim, next time the city's burning, maybe skip the shapewear ad and show some basic humanity. Next up is Meg DeAngelis, also known as the quirky influencer who managed to turn the LA wildfires into a tasteless joke. While flames were destroying homes and firefighters risked their lives, Meg shared a story saying, escaped NYC's cold, only to find LA on fire. Well, people didn't find it funny. It was dumb, stupid, and disgusting. Families were evacuating, animals were being rescued, and here's Meg treating it like a joke. People called her out for being tone-deaf and selfish. What made it worse was the fact that she didn't apologize or even acknowledge the backlash. She left the post up like it was no biggies. Meg, sometimes silence really is golden. This whole mess is a prime example of how detached influencers can be. If you can't help, at least don't make things worse with stupid-ass jokes. Let's talk about the Tarte Cosmetics brand trip. While smoke is choking the city and firefighters are out there busting their ass stop the flames, Tarte was like, you know what's a great idea? An all-expenses-paid vacation for influencers. Because nothing says we care like sipping pina coladas on a beach when people's lives are going up in smoke, literally. So what did they do? Flew a bunch of influencers to some bougie island, decked them out in expensive and filled their feeds with sunsets, bikinis, and captions like, living my best life. And meanwhile, LA is coughing up ash and people are
one day you're swimming in the pool and the next day it's all gone, but
praying their homes don't become bonfires. It's like they weren't even in the same dimension as the rest of us. What happened next? Twitter. People dragging Tarte for their insensitivity, calling them out for prioritizing a vacay over showing any kind of awareness or solidarity. Some were like, did they not think to postpone? Others questioned the humanity of whoever greenlit the trip. Like, who in their right mind thinks, hey, the city's burning, but influencers gotta influence, right? But nothing is as easy as it seems on the internet. Some people argued, well, Tarte is a business. They planned this trip months ago. What were they supposed to do? Cancel? And sure, maybe there's some logistical truth to that, but come on, read the If you're a brand, part of your job is knowing how to navigate public sentiment. And spoiler, throwing a beach party while half of California is on fire, isn't it? This whole mess opened up a much bigger conversation about corporate responsibility. When a crisis hits, do brands have an obligation to pause their regularly scheduled programming and acknowledge what's happening? Or is it all just business as usual? For Tarte, the answer seems to be the latter. And boy, did that backfire. The backlash was a reminder that sometimes doing nothing is better than doing something that screams, we don't give a. Now comes the Morgan, also known as the Flexer, who was talking about the evens in front of her. I don't even know. $1 million bag collection wall. You can't make it up. In the video,
2 days is just the most horrific thing I have ever experienced. And I'm not one to get emotional online. Obviously, we hate emotions. We hate crying. And I'm luckily safe. My family's safe. We were on evacuation notice last night. But people that have lost everything.
She's tearing up, talking about how tragic it all is, how her heart goes out to everyone affected, blah, blah, blah. And don't get me wrong, empathy is great, but maybe save the flex for another day. People in the comments were like, how do you even post this and not realize how bad it looks? Others pointed out that it's hard to take someone seriously about a crisis when they're literally surrounded by enough money to buy a small country. The issue with Morgan's video wasn't just the handbags, but it was the optics. When people are losing everything they own, the last thing they want to see is someone talking about their pain from the comfort of a luxury closet. It's insulting. At the end of the day, this was a prime example of how influencers can be so wrapped up in their own curated worlds that they forget to step outside of them. Morgan might have had good intentions, but intentions don't mean if the execution makes you look like you're starring in Rich People Problems, the movie. If there's one lesson here, it's that sometimes less is more. If you want to show solidarity during a crisis, maybe skip the luxury backdrop, or better yet, do something useful, like donating or raising awareness without making it about you. Because no one's going to remember Morgan Stewart's heartfelt words, they're just going to remember the wall of Chanel bags. And that, my friends, is influencer culture in a nutshell. Let's get real. People were pissed. The internet exploded with backlash against these influencers who seemed more interested in selling products than acknowledging the wildfires literally destroying lives. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, it was all filled with people calling them out for their tone-deaf. How can you post a haul video when people are evacuating their homes? Was the general vibe. And honestly, it's a good question. Comments like, wow, must be nice to promote your overpriced skincare while California burns. And imagine caring more about your engagement rate than actual human lives were everywhere. It wasn't just one or two influencers getting heat. Either it was a wave. People were tired of the same old, look at me, look at my brand, buy my mentality when there were way bigger issues at hand. But here's the thing. This wasn't just about dragging influencers for clout. It was about something deeper. People are craving real empathy. When the world feels like it's on fire, literally, folks want to see influencers use their platforms for good, not just for profit. They want acknowledgement of the crisis, a signal that these public figures actually care about something other than their next paycheck. And this backlash? It wasn't just a quick flash in the pan. People are starting to hold influencers accountable in a way we haven't really seen before. Brands are noticing too, because let's face it, if your favorite influencer is trending for being an during a crisis, that's bad for business. This could seriously mess with their reputations long term. A single post can ruin everything, drying up sponsorships faster than LA's water supply. This mess showed people are fed up with fake, self-centered influencer. They want something real, something human. And if influencers can't deliver, they'll be out of followers and out of work. Here's the deal. Being an influencer isn't just about pretty pics and promotions. It's about making a difference. During crises like the LA wildfires, that influence comes with a responsibility. Put the makeup palette down and show some awareness. Even one post saying, hey, let's help, can go a long way. From tone-deaf jokes to profit-driven posts, this disaster highlighted how out of touch some influencers are. If your job means ignoring people's pain for profit, maybe rethink your career. Influencers need to step up, spread awareness, encourage donations, and show they care. If they can't handle that, maybe it's time to log off. And for everyone watching, peace out.